Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Common Sense OT Security. My name is Anthony Jackson, and I am a technical support engineer here at OTbase. So, today I'm going to talk to you about a challenge that most OT teams face at some point, and that's the loss of knowledge. You see, in many OT environments, you may find out that critical asset information is oftentimes only in a person's head or scattered across spreadsheets, notes, or even emails. And when these team members leave, so does their knowledge. Oftentimes people retire or they just end up switching jobs, and that knowledge leaves with them. And that can open up its own can of worms. But it doesn't have to be that way. You see, OTbase isn't just about collecting device data, it gives you tools to preserve the knowledge too. And today I'm going to show you how to capture detailed asset context directly from within the platform so that you can enrich your source of truth. Let's go ahead and see how that is done. Okay, so let's consider this scenario. You have a senior OT engineer that knows exactly how to troubleshoot a particular PLC because they installed it, and they know to skip minor updates because the cost for having downtime is greater than the small performance increase that minor update might come with. So when that person leaves, their knowledge is gone also. Now imagine the next person that comes in to take that senior dev's place, and they're trying to troubleshoot that PLC. They're essentially working blind. They don't know the device history, the configuration details, or where to even start. It's essentially a loss of knowledge, so they're gonna have to go back and rediscover that on their own. And this increased downtime and higher operational costs, and potentially may open up some security risks too. Now, this is the beauty of OTbase. It's not just a list of device. It essentially allows you to have a rich profile for each asset, storing both technical details and operational context. You can actually attach key documents, add maintenance notes, and even define custom fields so that the asset information reflects exactly how your team works. So let's go ahead and see how that's done inside of OTbase. So from the device list, you can go ahead and click on a particular device and click edit. This brings up the edit dialog where you can add information and update information. So what we want to focus on here is the files section. And the file section allows us to add files to and associate those files with this particular device. So going back to the senior dev that's leaving, he or her can actually add in important details. Let's say they wrote some notes about patching and gave you their recommendation. Okay, install major updates, minor updates contain mostly small tweaks. After installing updates, a power cycle may be required. And these are the key things, the small things that engineers might need to pass down to whoever is going to take responsibility for particular OT devices. And at the same time, this is important because everybody has their own ways of doing stuff, and this at the same time gives clarity to everybody on the team. So let's go ahead and upload that. And once it's uploaded, we just go ahead and press on save. So now when, let's say a next person or another team member comes in and looks at this device, they'll go ahead and open the device profile and go to files, and they'll see that updating information here. And they'll be able to download that to download it off screen, but yeah, they'll be able to download and see that particular file. Let's go pull it back up. Here it is. It opened up in another window. All right, so that's that. So what about when it comes to, let's say, wiring information for PLC and the modules on that PLC? You can add that information also. So here's some wiring information or diagrams that for this particular PLC is very important. So our senior dev will go ahead and add that information in there too. And if that dev has any manuals for this, if that engineer has any manuals for this particular PLC, they can go ahead and add that too. All right, and when everything is said and done, they just press on save, and now all of those files are associated with this particular device. So anyone who has visibility on this particular device, they can see that information in the profile just by double clicking on it and going to the file section. All right, so in the scenario where our engineer needs to add custom data to his, well, to let his or her team members have even more knowledge about a device, they can do so using a feature that we have in OTbase, and it's our custom fields. And these custom fields are scoped to particular areas of focus. So you can have a custom field that is, well, pertains mainly to devices, location data, hardware data, etc. And let's see how that is done. Say that this particular PLC is crucial to production and has a strict maintenance schedule. I would think that that deserves a level of clarity to the other team members, that the senior dev who is leaving needs to get that information across his entire organization. So with OTbase, you're able to define your own custom data to your devices using custom fields that you define yourself. All right, so here's how you can quickly enrich your device data with this custom information in OTbase. So let's switch over here. So inside of OTbase, you have the ability to create your own custom fields. I've went ahead and created our own, well, my own custom field, and this one for this particular scenario is called maintenance. And in it, I give it a name, description, and a scope. And the scope pretty much allows you to make this custom field visible to all of your devices. And you have other scopes here. So if you wanted some custom information for your location information or your hardware or software information, you have that ability also. And so with that being said, the values, I've added some values to this maintenance custom field that pertain to my organization's, let's say, maintenance schedule. So we have yearly, semi-annually, quarterly, and monthly. It's just a few options I went ahead and defined. So once you do that, you can just press save. And now our custom field is scoped to all of our devices. So if we go back into devices, we'll be able to see our custom fields. So let's see what this looks like when we now edit our device. So I'm going to go ahead and select my PLC from earlier, click on edit. That brings up the edit window. And now we want to go down to the extended section. And the extended section pretty much houses our custom fields. So anything that the users or any team members define within OTbase will show up here. And like I said earlier, this is scoped to our devices area. So if we go to software and check out our software information, you won't see this maintenance custom field there. So back to our scenario, our senior engineer who's leaving, he knows that this particular device gets has a strict quarterly maintenance schedule. So he or her can put that in there and then press save. Now, fast forward a couple months after that person is out of the organization, someone comes along this device, they double click it, open up the device profile, and they can see all the enriched metadata here. But if they wanted to see the maintenance schedule for this particular device, they would just go down to the extended section. And this houses, like I said, our extended fields, and they're able to see that this particular device has a quarterly maintenance schedule. All right, pretty fast and simple solution, giving clarity to everyone on the team so that no knowledge is lost. And the great thing about these custom fields is that they are flexible, meaning you can add whatever values. It could be a text box, it could be a list of values for you to choose from, it could be a radio button, you name it. So yeah, this level of detail in enriching your data definitely gives clarity to everyone on your team, and you're able to give more information that outside of the realm that where it was automatically discovered. You're able to just go ahead and enrich that data. To sum it up, OTbase isn't just about inventory, it's about preserving operational knowledge. You're not just tracking and seeing your device data, you're also capturing the context behind them. So your team can pretty much work smarter and faster. If you guys have any questions, go ahead. You could put them in the chat and I can just read them off. If you have any questions around knowledge within OTbase or your organization, I'll give you a few seconds to, some time to type up your questions before we head out. Okay, so we don't have any questions right now. So that's it for today's episodes. But if you do have questions that you aren't able to put in the live, you can just leave a comment under the video and I'll answer that for you. All right, so that's it for today's episode of Common Sense OT Security. And this topic was all about preserving your organization's knowledge so that knowledge transfer is a lot easier, and how you can do that all from within OTbase. All right, my name is Anthony, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.